we're going to pull back the curtain on something that is quietly but completely reshaping our world. And a lot of the time, we don't even notice it. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's woven right into the fabric of our daily lives. So let's find out where this invisible revolution is actually happening, and more importantly, how you can become an active part of it.
I just love this quote from technologist Andrew Ainge. AI is the new electricity. And it's such a perfect way to think about it, right? Just like flicking a switch powers our homes and our cities, AI is becoming that same kind of foundational utility. It's powering countless things we do every single day, just making them faster and smarter.
So if AI is the new electricity, where are all the switches? That's the really fascinating part. Unlike a light switch that's right there on the wall, AI is often totally invisible. It's integrated so seamlessly into the apps and tools we already use that its influence is incredibly powerful, but you just don't see it. So today, we're going to go find some of those switches.
And you'll see how AI touches both the really ordinary parts of our day, think about your smart alarm clock or your music recommendations, and the truly extraordinary moments, the ones with life or death stakes. The scope is it's staggering.
Let's start in one of the most important places imaginable, healthcare. Because here, AI isn't some cold calculating machine. It's actually becoming more like a trusted assistant for doctors, a silent partner in the operating room.
Think of it like a tireless second pair of eyes. An AI can scan an MRI and flag a tiny little anomaly that even a brilliant radiologist might miss at the end of a very long shift. It's right there in the watch on your wrist, tracking your heart rate. And it's even helping to speed up the discovery of new medicines. See, the goal isn't to replace doctors, not at all, but to empower them with superpowers.
And this is a true story that just shows how powerful that partnership can be. So after seeing 17 different specialists who were all baffled, a desperate mother fed all of her son's medical records and symptoms into ChatGPT. The AI processed all of that information and suggested a rare condition the experts had missed. A surgeon confirmed it, and the child's life was saved. Just an incredible example of what happens when human persistence meets AI's vast knowledge base. Okay, now let's switch gears. From saving lives to saving your money. In the world of finance, we almost never see it, but AI is working 24/7 as our silent guardian, protecting our accounts and just making our financial lives a whole lot simpler.
Seriously, every single time you swipe your credit card, an AI is analyzing that transaction, comparing it against your normal spending habits to spot fraud in just milliseconds. You know that text message you get from your bank asking, "Hey, was this you?" Yep, that's AI. It's also making sophisticated investment advice available to pretty much everyone through robo-advisors, and it's securing your banking app with just a look.
So we've seen AI working behind the scenes, but what if you want to interact with it directly? What if you want to make this invisible force, visible? That's exactly where tools like ChatGPT come into play, and they are now accessible to absolutely everyone. So what is it really? Well, just think of it as a conversational program that you can talk to in plain English. It's kind of like having an assistant who has read a massive chunk of the internet. We're talking millions of books, articles, websites, and can instantly put all that information together just for you.
Okay, that's the big question, right? Beyond just answering trivia, what can you really do with a tool like this? Turns out the possibilities are surprisingly huge and really practical.
Honestly, it's like a Swiss Army knife for thinking. You can ask it to explain something super complex, like quantum physics, as if you're 5 years old. Or you can get creative and have it brainstorm themes for a kid's birthday party, or write a bedtime story. It can also handle all those practical tasks, like drafting that tricky email to your boss, or even helping you learn a new language by, say, creating a weekly meal plan for you, entirely in French.
But that brings up a really fascinating question. When it gives you such a creative or insightful answer, it feels like it's thinking. So what is actually going on under the hood? Well, it's both simpler and way more complex than you might imagine.
So here's the main thing to remember. ChatGPT isn't a conscious being. It doesn't have feelings or beliefs. It's a lot more like a super autocomplete on steroids. It's been trained on billions of texts, so it's become an absolute master of pattern recognition. It's just predicting the next most likely word to form a coherent sentence. So think of it less like an all-knowing oracle and more like a very, very knowledgeable parrot.
And knowing how it thinks actually helps you talk to it way more effectively. Getting great results from an AI like ChatGPT is a skill, so let's go over a few simple tips that'll really level up your conversations.
Okay, first, be specific. Don't just say, write about dogs. Instead, say, write a 3-sentence poem about a golden retriever chasing a tennis ball at sunset. See the difference? Second, give it a role. Tell it, act as a professional career coach and give me 3 ways to improve my resume. And third, iterate. If the first answer isn't perfect, just tell it. Ask it to be funnier or more formal, or to explain it in 3 bullet points. Remember, it's a conversation.
All right, let's zoom back out for a second. We've seen AI out there in our world, and we've learned a bit about how to talk to it. So what does all this really mean for us? What does it feel like to live in a world where we're in this constant, often subconscious partnership with machines? You know, maybe the best way to think about this new reality is like dancing. We are all learning to dance with a brand new kind of partner. And sometimes the AI leads, sometimes we lead. But the real magic happens when we start to move in sync, complementing each other's strengths.
In this dance, the AI can handle all the tedious steps. The research, the boring first drafts, the data analysis. And that frees us up to focus on what we humans do best: creativity, critical thinking, connecting with each other. It becomes a blank canvas for our ideas. But you are always the artist. You're the storyteller. You're the one who decides what the final piece looks like.
So the technology is here. It's accessible, it's powerful, and it's ready to go. It is literally waiting on the dance floor for you. The only question left is, what are you going to create with it? What problem will you solve? What story will you tell? Your partner is ready, so what song will you choose?